Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is me, Retrosorter, and this is my continuing series No Man's Land farm build. This will be episode 11, the arrival of a neighbouring farmer into the valley. I do hope you enjoy this episode. This is Farming Simulator 22 on PlayStation 5, and this is pretty much a straightforward build. I don't think there's any surprises in here, but I do hope you enjoy. If you are enjoying the series, then please do drop me a like, and if you're not already subscribed, please do consider to do so. As you can see from these opening shots, this farm is predominantly a sheep farm with some arable crops as well. There are a couple of meadows for hay production. So without further ado, let's get started. The idea behind this episode was that a new farmer has decided to move into the area. He's bought this plot of land which has an old barn on it and an old grapevine. He's going to clear the area and make start on building a new farmstead from scratch. So that's what we're going to do here. First off, I'm demolishing the trees and the bushes, clear the area. As you can see here, the area where the grapevines were has left a bit of an artifact behind, which the excavator does not get rid of. And the only way I found to get rid of it was to paint some new vines over the top and then delete them. So that's what I'm doing here. So I'm placing this old barn here. The idea is this is a legacy item that was here when the farmer bought the land, and it's more expensive to demolish, so he's just decided to leave it there and use it for something in the future maybe. I decided that I would like to use a pasture grass texture around the house, so I'm just using a open pasture there to paint around there and deleting them once they've been done, and then I can texture around, and that deletes the grass texture that I don't want, as you'll see as we go along. If this is the first episode you watched of my No Man's Land series, then I do encourage you to return to the beginning, episode 1 with the blank No Man's map by Alien Jim. It's a fantastic map, and I think I've done quite a good job of filling it in. We've used almost all of the slots that are available for PS5, so I'm not exactly sure how many more episodes we'll be able to do on this series. May have to resort to cutting some things out to finish the map off, But there you go, that's what the limit is on PS5. Of course on PS4 it would have stopped a long time ago. It's, I think it's 2,600 the limit on those consoles. So we'll see how it goes, and yeah, I do hope you're enjoying the series if you have watched from the beginning, and yeah, if you haven't, then please do so. I think you'll really enjoy it. So I make a mistake here by placing the roof section without using the place anywhere function, and it deformed the terrain, so I've had to flatten it again and replace the animal pasture so I can do it properly. otherwise the two roof sections don't line up and you end up with a step because of the varying height. But it's easily corrected, as you see. As you see here, if you paint the ploughed field texture straight over the grass doesn't disappear. So my method here is to paint around the field edge with the withered grass texture, followed by the dirt texture, and then go ahead with the ploughed field texture over the top of that. And this gives a more authentic look to the edge of the field. If you do just place the ploughed field texture on top of the grass, the texture will still be there and there will be a field. The grass won't disappear until you either seed or plough or cultivate, and then it will overwrite the grass texture that's there. So don't worry about it if you do it that way around. This is just my preferred method so that I get a kind of authentic look to the edge of the field when the crops are growing. That's the way I like to do it. I've done several fields around the property in this manner. I'm not going to show all of them. As you can see, I am using a auto loading bale fork, which is part of the CSZ equipment pack. My preferred method. I do occasionally like to stack bales using just a normal bale fork, but for this sort of work I found this to be far easier. Yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think of this method, and whether you find it easier or you prefer to be moving bales using the traditional method. I'm just placing some concrete panels here. I could have used the snapping option, but the building is not placed at a snapping angle, so I've just had to do it manually, which is why it took me a little while to get them aligned. And next you see me putting some concrete blocks down. Now those are to aid placing of that roof section, because it was too low down for fitting the excavator underneath. So I've had to raise them up by the height of that concrete block, just so that it's not clipping through the roof, and the actual insertion point of that roof section is over where those concrete blocks were that I placed. And then once it's in place, you can delete the blocks and hide the gap with that piece of wall, like I've done there. So what I'm doing here is just adding a wash area in between the two buildings there, just putting some drainage either side of these concrete slabs, and then I can park vehicles on there and the water will run away. And what I decided to do was these speed bumps, I decided to just fit it right up against the edge, so it looks like it's a little ramp at the beginning. Just had to adjust the placement there. I think they look good. And yeah, a jet wash, so that can reach vehicles that's on the washing platform. I do move the position of it because the pipe doesn't reach quite all the way, so I moved it into the centre there. And now we move on to placing some wall lights. Now these can be a little bit tricky, very difficult to see with the maximum zoom there, but just a little bit of perseverance and you will get them in the right place. They're very handy items once you get the hang of placing them. So I'm creating a grass meadow here, and the method is more or less the same as creating a ploughed field, except I don't paint on the dirt texture, because the grass would just blend in with the wild grass around the edge anyway. So yeah, you don't need to bother with that. I do go around and widen the borders at the fence afterwards, so just to allow a little bit more extra room to the fence for seeding. I decided this area was required for another shed for storing of seeders and trailers and things, and also a vehicle workshop, so just clearing some trees away and give space for doing that. So the building there with the green sides is the wrong colour. I forgot to change the colour when I was placing it, so I do delete it and replace it with one that's got light coloured sides, which more or less match the buildings around it. And the area around there, I do add a silo in and a fuel tank and some other things. On the other side of the farm I had a bale storage, but unfortunately I lost the footage. I accidentally deleted it or whatever, and yeah, you're just gonna get to see it in the final shots. So yeah, I do hope you've enjoyed this build. Please enjoy this quick tour around. I decided to use a BMX to ride around the farm. I think it's turned out quite nice, and I hope you think so too. If you have enjoyed the build, then please do drop me a like, and do consider subscribing if you're not already, so you don't miss any of my content. And all that's left to say is thank you very much for watching, and I do hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now.